Good morning, guys. As most of you have figured out, and especially you new viewers, let me tell you now, this blog is not just about what goes on here in the U.S. Approximately 1/4 of the viewers are from overseas. This is about all of us coming together, sharing information, not just what goes on here in the U.S., but what goes on everywhere, as this article is going to point out. Now, before I get to this article, real quick, as one of the viewers pointed out, just here in the U.S., 100,000 people go missing every year. That's human trafficking. Imagine what it's like worldwide. It gives you an idea of how bad the problem really is and how serious that it is. Just here in the U.S., 100,000 people go missing. Also, one of the things I want to get across is Trump was far better prepared than the shadow government thought. And the shadow government is not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact. Eisenhower talked about it, Kennedy talked about it and tried to do away with him. Obviously they killed him first. But he was way better, and also he's got God on his side. And you know something? That's a big plus. Anyway, moving on to, this is from Great Britain. And I thank the viewer for sending this to me. They're thinking about abolishing the House of Lords. Now, it says here, Lord Norman Lamont, former Chancellor and Leave supporter, Brexit supporter, claimed the upper chamber could be called into question if they vote against Britain's European Union divorce again. Now, the viewer told me this is the second largest unelected body of people in the world, and I think second, he said, second only to China's. And anyway, it says Theresa May suffered her first Brexit defeat at the hand of the Lords, who defeated the government, adding an amendment to the Brexit bill to protect the rights of EU citizens living in Britain. Now keep in mind, what the people are thinking of doing is doing away with this unelected body and making them elected. Now, how they got around to not being elected, who knows? Look at all the stuff that goes on in this country. All the stuff that goes on that we don't want and has been going on. In other words, they need to be held accountable. And he told Sky News, he says, I think the Prime Minister is quite right. If the House of Lords voted so that Parliament could reject a deal that is not sufficient for Britain's purposes, Britain would be left in a very weak position. Having to go back to Europe saying the deal you've given us isn't good enough, please give us a better one. We would be in a ridiculous position. In other words, what they need to do is just leave and tell them to stick it up their fanny. You don't pay a price for leaving. You don't pay any money, forget it. You're gone. And so it says also what some people in the House of Lords seem to want is Parliament to vote against whatever is negotiated and say, we want to remain in the EU. That would be to deny the result of the referendum. Anyway, it's going to get... Great Britain is in... Their government is in tremendous turmoil. Why? Because the people are fed up with their stupidity, with their corruption, and everything else. Just as we in this country have been fed up with our government and all of their corruption and their stupidity. And now they're in turmoil, especially now with so many people being threatened, not just of losing their position, okay, but also possibly losing their freedom and their money. But in particular, their freedom, going to jail. Some of them, like Obama and the Clintons and so forth, these people are looking at going to jail for the rest of their life for treason. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll put the article, as always, in the description box for you. God bless y'all. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.